Now, one of the biggest differences between recreational golfers and the professional is their intention with what they're about to do and their attention to detail on how they go about it. So in this video, I'm going to be talking specifically about the pre-shot routine, and if this is something that you're struggling with and really incorporating into your game, this video is really going to help. Let's get into it. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Kerrod here, back at Joondalup Resort. Before we get stuck in, please go down below, click subscribe, click that little bell so you get notified of all the upcoming videos just like this, here to help you in the year ahead. Alrighty, so in this video, we're going to be talking specifically about pre-shot routine. What is a pre-shot routine? Well, a pre-shot routine is what you do prior to hitting a golf shot. That could be on your drives, your irons, your pitch shots, your putt shots, any of those. What we're looking for is to have a bulletproof pre-shot routine. If you watch any golf on TV, every single professional will have a pre-shot routine, and most amateurs and most recreational golfers do not. And one of the biggest concerns that I get with a lot of players is they worry about inconsistency. Now, if you're not consistent and deliberate with what you're doing prior to the shot, how can you possibly expect to be consistent what you do within the shot? So once again, in this video, I'm going to show you my way of going about in the pre-shot routine that could maybe help you at home try and formulate something that could help you gain a little bit more consistency with your shots. Now, in this video, I'm not going to be talking about tactical decisions. So what you do when you're assessing what type of shot you're going to hit, the trajectory, the curvature, where to avoid the hazards and such. This is purely the movements and the actions of what I want you to try and incorporate from behind the golf ball, next to the golf ball, and into the shot when you go and play it. So as a point of reference, I'm going to show you what I typically see on the golf course with recreational golfers. There'll be a golf ball on the ground. There might be a little half-committed practice swing or something similar, usually not anywhere near the golf ball or on a different part of surface or undulation to what that ball is actually lying on. From there, they kind of look at the target. There might be some dirt on the club face or something similar. They match their feet up with where they want to go. They put the golf club down, and then they simply just go and hit. Now, when they're doing this, they also usually spend too much time hanging over the golf ball in the wrong way. So if you've ever seen your buddies step up to the golf ball and they get frozen over the ball, they're getting very static, it's not dynamic, it's not athletic. They're usually trying to think about what they're trying to do in the process of their swing, and they're not really being focused on their outcome and what they want to achieve. Now, if you were to watch a professional, everything would be flowing, everything would be moving in such a way where it looks like it's almost in sequence, just like their golf swing is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how I approach it and how I recommend most golfers go ahead and incorporate exactly these moves I'm about to show you into their pre-shot routine. Okay, so starting off, let's start off next to the golf ball here. Now, this surface, for example, is very controlled. It's just a mat. Now, assuming, let's say, you're on an undulation, ball is below your feet or above your feet, it really helps to have a practice swing directly in line with that golf ball on the same surface in which it's lying on. So, for example, if you're in the rough, take it in the rough. If you're in the fairway, take it in the fairway. Now, why would we have it right next to the ball? Well, one of the main reasons being is if there's a slight undulation to the surface that you're in, you need to calibrate your posture and your swing to strike the ground in such a manner that we would be looking for when we hit the golf ball. Also, when you're doing this, you can actually observe and look where you're striking the ground. So for example, if I was to set up to this golf ball, I make a swing and hit back here, well, that's not really rehearsing what I want to go ahead and execute. So therefore, in that situation, I would then make another rehearsal. So I'd make sure I'm taking a little practice swing, hitting the ground in line with the golf ball. Now, on full shots, you don't need to make a full speed practice swing. Really, the way that I like to frame it is that all you're trying to do is get a feeling of the golf club striking the ground similar to how you would wish when you go ahead and execute the shot. Now, at low speed, you're probably not going to take a divot. You might just bruise the ground or something similar, but that's perfectly okay, and that's something that I do myself, and you'll see a lot of pros do. So I know some players have their practice swings behind, but I recommend you do it right next to the golf ball. Set up, imagining there's a golf ball maybe a couple of inches away, have a practice swing, getting a feel, nice smooth swing of just brushing the ground next to it. Now from there, what I want you to do, after you've had your practice swing, you're going to walk back and behind the golf ball. If you've got some dirt on the club face, let's clean that off. Let's make sure we've got a clean, dry club face so we don't get any matter stuck between the golf ball and the club. Secondary to that, what we're going to do is we're going to pick our intermediate target. So what that is a spot a couple of inches in front in which we are going to line our club face up with. Now, if you haven't seen any of my videos about what controls accuracy, make sure you go and check those out. It is the club face, which generally controls your start line as a simplistic sort of reference there. So I'm going to pick that 150 out in the distance. I'm drawing a visual line with my eyes back to the golf ball, and I'm going to pick a spot a couple of inches ahead. Now, from this position here with my back to the camera, what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my grip. I'm going to take my hands on the golf club just how I wish to then utilize that as I walk in. So I'm standing behind, I've drawn my visual line, I'm looking at my intermediate target as I walk in. Now this is key here. I'm going to keep my body open to the target, set my back foot forward first, so for the right hander, your right foot forward, and match my club face up with this intermediate target. From here, I'm then going to look at the target by tilting my head on its axis at that 150, and then set my feet while I get comfortable in this position here. Now, from here, what's generally going to happen is your body will tend to match up parallel left of where your club face is aiming. One of the biggest mistakes that I see players make from the transition from behind and then into it is when they walk in, they set their feet first relative to their club. And one of the big reasons that this is an error is what they're doing is they're trying to match their body up with where they want to send the golf ball. But the body doesn't hit the golf ball, the club does. So if I match my body up with that, and then from there I put my club down, all of a sudden I'm aiming way out to the right. So that's a big, big issue. So I need to make sure that I'm trying to aim myself as accurate as I possibly can. Okay, so from there, let's go through that again. Standing back and behind, I've got my visual target line. I'm going to walk in, set my club face first, check, line my body up. Now I'm feeling comfortable. As I do this, you can see that I'm pumping my arms, I'm getting relaxed, I'm looking at my target, I'm visualizing my ball going at the target, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit it. And luckily, that went straight on line with the target, so I'd be very happy with that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run through my whole routine at full speed so you can see exactly what it looks like. Having a practice swing next to the golf ball, intentional strike of the ground, falling back off it, standing directly behind, matching my grip, pick my intermediate target, match my club face up with my right foot forward, check the target line, look back, get comfortable, waggle, stay relaxed, put the club down, go. That felt really good. So what I want you to do is go and rehearse this. Don't grab a large bucket, go down there and hit ball after ball after ball. Be intentional about what you're doing. It's what the pros do. It's what most recreational golfers don't. So if you're struggling with your consistency, this is definitely something I would implement. Rewatch this video a couple of times. If you don't have a pre-shot routine, use this one here as a template, and I'm sure it will help. So I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you've got any questions, please ask me below. But until next time, I'm Kerrod. Thanks for watching.